What's up? What's up? Baseline is talking. Welcome, listeners, to the Baseline Talk Podcast.
That's right, man.
We got a trendsetter in the building, man. We got a trendsetter in the building. We excited. We honored. We got my man Rich Anderson with TexasU in the building. Rich, man, it's good to have you, Rich.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Man.
You're doing some big things in the Metroplex, man. You know what I'm talking about, Corey?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we I don't know how we hitting 1,000, man. We just keep getting the who's who of of guests on the show, bro.
It's big though. This is big tonight. You know, this is big because, you know, in this basketball game, you have these wars. You know, you have wars. You got these shoe brand wars. You got
we all know they're there.
Nike versus Under Armour and Adidas and things of that nature. So it's going to be good to get a perspective from the Under Armour scene because at the same time, Under Armour's coming up.
Coming, bro.
It's coming up.
Why not?
You know, I've been looking at the highlights. I've been looking at the videos. You know, I'm extremely impressed with the Up Next. Is that what it's called, Rich?
Up Next.
Up Next. That's what it's called. Up Next. I mean, some of my favorite high school players, you know, because I'm a fan of the game, have played in that game, and I think it's one of the biggest games in the month of August. You know,
you want to shed a little light with the we call them teammates. They're not subscribers to us. They're teammates. Once they subscribe, they teammates. You want to share a little bit, you know, what the Up Next about with our teammates?
Yeah, I mean, UA Next, you know, and I'll kind of preface by saying, hey, Under Armour, you know, coming into the girls' space 5 years ago, said they were going to do something special, kind of, you know, just like anything else.
Right.
You come into a space that's dominated, you know, you got to come in there with some juice. So,
right.
You know, UA, you know, took it serious, came in this deal. So, I mean, you got three mainstay events outside of the circuit, which circuit is, you know, I think it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does.
But you got the Future 60 that they just had, I want to say it was like a week or so ago. They do that IMG, 30 of the top kids in the country, 30 girls,
right?
30 boys, bring them in the IMG. Then you got Steph Curry camp where he brings
Steph Curry.
You know, Steph, he's passionate about that deal. And then you got the UA, you know, Next deal, which they had it. First one was last year. Crazy setup, you know, the boys in, the girls in, you know.
Is it like outdoors?
It's outdoors,
man. Yeah.
You know,
so they call it UA Next.
UA Next.
Next.
It's crazy. So
it's nice.
If you get an opportunity to be invited to that,
right?
You know, everybody in this space, you know, gravitates toward being exclusive. You know, hey, that's as good as it gets. You get there and they treat you, you know, like you're supposed to be treated if you're one of those kids.
Where's it held? Is it the same place every year or is it different locations?
Yeah. So, you know, with the investment they're putting in it, you know what I'm saying? Just making it where it's something where everybody wants to be part of it. Because again, with UA, not a lot of people know about Under Armour. Right? Not a lot of people get excited about the gear. You know, I know that.
Well, you know, Steph Curry came on the scene, man, and he added some spice. So Under Armour do have a little swag.
Creeping.
Quiet as not kept. It's creeping.
Creeping. So whenever you get something like that, and everybody gets there, and then they're giving you the top gear stuff that people have seen, it's like, you know, excuse my language, like, damn, a little bit. You know, and I'm a shoe guy.
Man.
You know, everybody know me. I'm a shoe guy. So,
right.
You know, I you know, been on the Nike Adidas stuff forever. Prior to 5 years ago, you know, I moved over to UA, man. I probably had one pair of Under Armours prior to 5 years ago. Shoot, I got like over 250 now.
I just want to, you know, I see it, but if you got the energy, you know, to kind of lift up.
I'm old.
Shoe game, man.
We ain't knocking Under Armour. I'm going to tell you, I'm a co-sign for him. Anyway, I'm a co-sign. You know, I feel like Under Armour is coming up. You know, for one, they got Steph Curry. And for the other, you know, when it comes to their shoes, I mean, they do have some live colors. Yeah, and, you know, that's what's in right now. You know, girls and boys are wearing colorful shoes, colorful socks. And Under Armour, they X that box when it comes to style. So, you know, I don't think, you know, you can say, man, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to call them second. You know, I'm not going to call them first. I'm just going to say they're coming. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some nice colors. They got some nice gear. And they kept their word. You know, like he said, Under Armour said they wanted to do something special. They kept their word. They did something special. And I'm going to be the first to admit, I've seen Rich grow in the game. And he's been a lot of different places. And, you know, he's been on the Adidas side. He's been on the Nike side. He was in Under Armour. So I'm like, when he went Under Armour, I'm like, okay, it's the same old thing. You know, he going to be there for a little bit and then he'll be gone. But now, what I'm looking at now, Corey, he's building something special.
He arrived.
And he's making a dent in the game. And that's just not with him in Texas. That's Under Armour as a whole.
Right.
So I feel like Under Armour is something you got to pay attention to, because even as a former coach, they were saying, oh, EYBL supposed to be this and that. But then there were some coaches saying, hey, man, have you been to an Under Armour event?
Yeah.
When you go to the Under Armour event, man, it's who's who in the building.
Right.
All the big time head coaches are in the building at the Under Armour events. So I'm like, really? That's something new. So hey, man, I got to give Under Armour they props and they respect. I got to give y'all flowers, man. Y'all doing it, and you doing something big in the Metroplex, Rich.
In Texas, bro.
In Texas. So, and I just want to say, you handling your business. I gotta show you love. You know,
appreciate that.
It's no politics on this. So if somebody's doing something, we got to give them their credit, man. And go ahead, Corey.
Let's he's doing something special. And we're gonna give him his credit on this. You know, we got a nice event. We just had a previous podcast, and to our knowledge at the time when we did the podcast, we didn't know about this event, but it came to our attention, and we glad to have him on. And Rich, if you don't mind, man, tell us about what's going on.
Man, tell us about Hardwood Classic.
Yeah, look, Hardwood Classic. You know, everybody at the end of June trying to sharpen up for live period, man. So it's always good. We can get some good games in, kind of knock some of that dust off. And, you know, I'll be honest, it kind of happened by accident. Stuff happens, stars align,
Right.
And, this event kind of popped up. We're blessed. Hey, first year, we got a crazy, venue. Gonna be a Drive Nation. We got some hitters coming in.
Right.
And whenever you can combine those two, and then when you have energy, effort, passion, because I'm one of those guys I like when it comes to event space, because, I've been doing this a while. You want to walk in, you want to feel like, hey, you part of something.
Right.
And I think with how stuff goes nowadays, it's so transactional, people are forgetting about the experience.
Right.
So come in, hype these games up, and you'll see some of that over the week, because we got some matchups. I think gonna have some people salivating a little bit.
Right.
People will see straight up. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll start talking about those this week, and it's kind of old school. It's, I go back, talking about the days March Fest, right? You knew so-and-so game was happening at so-and-so time. Yo, you got to be at the gym.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So I hope everyone that's doing these events wants to get back to that.
Right.
Because I think that is what grows the space. And I think for everybody, we all want to eat and do what we do, but we all got a responsibility to be good stewards of the space.
Right.
Because the guys that came before us doing this, and they built it up, the hype, the stories, all this stuff, I keep that moving.
But I tell you what, man, we're going to be in the house, man. The Baseline Talk podcast going to be in the house. We're going to go ahead and break the news. We're going to be doing play-by-play.
Play-by-play. Baseline will be talking.
Yeah, we're going to be there and everything. So, man, I commend you. Everybody needs to tune up before they go out in July. The TABC just finished their thing, so we know high schools have been practicing together. Yep. We got just a little bit of time to get a practice in a game or two in. So I'm very, very happy and going to be supportive of you providing a platform for the girls to knock the cobwebs off. Knock the cobwebs off, because really ain't nobody played in June, am I right?
No, nobody has played in June yet.
Yeah. So, man, way to step up to the plate and provide a platform for everybody to go in. Let's get some run before we go play in front of college coaches. Let's get better together.
Let's get better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the arena has set up, like he said. June, you had the TABC tournament where actually the high school coaches had a chance to coach their players. And that's something new. That's something that hasn't been done. And, you know, Richard is humble, you know, and I give him props for that. But at the same time, you know, I got to congratulate him for not taking no for an answer. Because, you know, to make a long story short, his plan was to be in the earn not given. Am I right or wrong, Rich? I mean,
yeah, we were going to play on that deal.
Yeah, that was his plan. But at the same time, when he had a rejection or he was on the waiting list, it didn't work out. Well, he couldn't sit on that. You know, his team has to get ready. They're getting ready for July and play in front of college coaches. So he put his thinking cap on and creatively and innovatively came up with the Hardwood Classic. And so I got to give kudos to Rich for being innovative and creative and saying, hey, we can't get in this event, but girls, I'm not going to let you down. Y'all committed to me. Your parents has committed to me. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure y'all ready for July. And that's how he came up with the Hardwood Classic. So I gotta give it up for him.
So Rich, if you're still accepting teams, how can teams find out about the Hardwood Classic? And if they want to participate, you know, how do they, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You know, thankfully, one of the people that are helping with the event is Amber Johnson.
Great person.
Has her hands in a lot of the top events in the country. So she does her thing. She knows, you know, her stuff around, you know, the event space. So, you know, go online, Jamber basketball. Our website, it's there. Register. You know, and we're expecting a fun time.
And she plays a little part in Classic Clubs. Am I right or wrong?
Actually, she probably is the person.
For the Classic Club.
Yeah, so she's putting that together. Man. You know, so she knows her stuff.
Man, so DFW Metroplex. Hey, you'll be joining somebody that knows what they're doing. I know most of us played in the Classic Clubs. Baseline, Talk Podcast. We was at the Classic Clubs event. TexasU was a part of it. Under Armour team. You had EYBL teams there. So this young lady knows what she's doing, and she has a foot in this Hardwood Classic. So if you step into this event with the media that's going to be there, Baseline, Talk will be there. You're going to have other top media outlets there. It's a place to be. And the way it's happening, people are playing in the Earn Not Giving on Saturday. And Hardwood Classic is a one-day event?
No, it's 2 days.
Oh, it's 2 days.
It's 2 days.
So guess what? If you're on the waiting list, like Coach Rich was,
come on over.
Get in the Hardwood Classic.
Yeah.
That's how this event came about. He was on the waiting list, couldn't get in the Earn Not Giving. So he established something that's going to be real special. So if you're on the waiting list like he was, get into the Hardwood Classic.
So yeah, man. Again, we commend you. You got another platform for girls.
Man,
special. Hardwood Classic. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a staple for for years to come in June, man. We support you in everything. I want to jump on another topic, man.
Let's get on it.
We got to give you kudos and flowers and everything because you got a player in your program that's representing the United States of America in U16 games. You know what I'm saying? So I was just turning it over to you. Just tell us a little bit.
Look, JC a B, special kid. I think you be around her, be around the parents. I think special thing about her, as talented as she is, humble. You know,
humble.
Walks in the gym and, you know, been around some big time kids before. And sometimes you see the pressure in their face and, you know, they're trying to live up to something. That kid's just having fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the special thing, because we picked her up this year, had a long standing relationship with the family for probably, 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, a lot of people don't know, I coached her older brother. For a little bit.
Nice.
Knew the parents, great family there, and she's, you know, been mentored, coached by, you know, Dre Lewis. Dre under radar, one of the most solid guys in the space. So her circle is solid. So everything she needs, you know, it's there. They're supportive, push her in the right direction. And, you know, for her to come be a part, you know, TexasU and be part of this family, and it seamlessly fit together because it's all people that, you know, are on the right page, know what they're doing. It's just been crazy. So, you know, state champion freshman year.
State champion.
You know, that's right. Come on the UA circuit, you know, leading their 16U team, which we think arguably the best team in Texas. 16U, you know, they go undefeated. You know, and then she comes out, she makes USA 16. Right. So I don't think you can script it better for a freshman. Right.
For 2026 kid, JC Abbey, 2026 kid, plays with TexasU, Frisco Liberty player. Playing for a gold medal. I mean, is she still playing for a gold medal?
Matter of fact, they are. I've been checking my phone. They were playing while we were talking, so we'll see how it is. But they've been doing crazy at the hill, blowing everybody.
Is there a timetable on when she'll be back?
She'll be back next week.
Next week, okay.
Hopefully she got the energy to, you know, participate. Understand so she don't, but you know.
If not, I mean, she'll be in the building.
Yeah, she should be there. You know, ready to kind of, you know, again, I think a lot of these kids, you know, hopefully they stay active because during June we dialed down. That kid's been USA trials, then jumping on a plane going to Mexico. So she's had a full bag, you know, straight through. So, you know, we'll watch her group. And make sure she's good, but she should come back next week and be good to go.
Okay, well, you have a big-time player, JC Abbey, on your circuit team, and you participated in the NCAA certified event in April. Tell me, what was the atmosphere like as far as college coaches? You know, I know a lot of players were sitting on her, but with your teams, 16U and 17U, what was the college atmosphere like during y'all certified events?
Well, I'll tell you, the funny thing is, and again, this is me moving from, because prior to being at TexasU, I was at Drive.
Oh, you was at Drive?
So the first year Drive came out, I actually ran that thing.
That's
right.
And
put it together. And that didn't work out, you know.
Okay.
And everything. But, you know, I think that first year with UA, that was a big thing for everybody. Like, what's this going to be? It's new.
Right.
You know, and, you know, I'll put it out there. You know, in Texas, you know, it's a lot of negative recruiting. A whole bunch of it. So, narrative around Texas, man, you don't want to play for that. It's a tier down. They're not going to have any head coaches there. Coaches, if they even come, you know, if you need this, you need that, you got to be Nike, you got to be EYBL. They're here, UA's here. So for me, being there year one, seeing how hard it hit for the past couple of years, and this year, no exception, because we've had kids migrate from our program from EYBL, you know, and coming here and they're going UA. It's amazing when they walk in, they're like, yo, we've been lied to. And I'm like, yeah. You know, in our circle, we like, look, it's only a handful of people in Texas, period, within our space of influence that have been to an Adidas live period, that have been to a Nike live period, and been to an Under Armour live period. But you got all these people talking like they went through the door at UA. You ain't never been there. So we got the Schaefers. We got, you know, head coaches from here, there. And I think when parents see that, you know, like, wow, this is, you know, crazy. They walk by Dawn Staley and I'm like, yeah, expect that. Yeah,
expect that.
Like, we get that. You know, it's the same deal. Like, I think the space in recruiting, that's a whole nother discussion. There's so much misinformation out there about how recruiting works.
Right.
And people have a narrative in their head and think that's how it goes. And then you get there and you see it's totally different. There needs to be a lot more, you know, unbiased, which love you guys format, just saying how it really is. Because you shouldn't have, like, we don't negative recruit here. So, you know, if you go to an EYBL event, hey, coach is going to be there. They throw good stuff. Same thing with the Adidas. That's what UA does it too. Right. You know what I mean? So if you're on any one of those platforms, you're in a good space. And, you know, we just hope most of the time when it comes down to that stuff, you know, the recruiting, that people just look at people handling it rather than all the aesthetic stuff, then you can make better decisions on what you do.
I got a question for you.
Yep.
Rich, take Texas, for example. If the best players in Texas, like say say the best point guard in the state of Texas, the best 2 guard, 3 guard, 4 and 5, if they were to play on one team, what do you think the outcome would be like?
I'll say it'd be scary.
Be scary.
I think people that, you've been on the national level too.
Right.
You know how Texas hit.
Right.
So
that's true.
We got multiple teams coming out of Texas. We got other states, they're sending one team, but they're kind of pulling the best talent. Here, we're fighting over this, so you may get a sprinkle here, sprinkle here. And kudos to all the guys in our state, because I think with all of the recruiting, all these programs still do a good job putting a good product. But if you ever say, like you take TexasU stable, Pro Skills stable, Drive Nation stable, Stop Fair stable, you say you putting one together?
That's scary.
That's scary.
Regardless of what platform they were playing on, regardless if it was Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas.
Wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Wouldn't matter.
They would be able to do some damage.
It would be special. College coaches don't care.
No,
if
they
you
don't.
got a kid,
You're right.
Like we're talking about top kids, and we got one, 2026. I'll fight that battle. We think she's number one. She gonna be in that argument.
Right.
But again, the narrative, man, you got to be a Nike kid for that to happen. It's people here that don't understand. AZ Fudd, right? Where did she play?
Yeah.
She was UA.
She was UA.
Paige, they said UConn. Where was she at?
She was UA.
Michaela Williams, number 1 player last year, played with our guy Durham.
Malaysia
Fuwala.
Yeah.
UA. So, again, it's just some of the misinformation throws you off.
Man.
But end of the day, if you that kid, all these stages are, relatively close, man, kids get together, something like that happens, it will be special. It'll be
man. I'm glad we got you on the Baseline Talk podcast. So all you big time players on there, that's something to think about. The Aaliyah Chavez's of the world, the JC Abbeys, the Kaylin Kemps, that's something to think about. If y'all were to join one program and play on one team and go against the country's best, y'all could be pretty special, because we feel like Texas has some of the best athletes in the country. And if that was to happen, it could be something that's truly special. So y'all need to consider that.
Right. So like I said, I wanted to personally, congratulate you on 2 things. One, providing a space for girls to play at the end of June with the Hardwood Classic. All the kids need a space, everybody needs let's get the cobwebs, let's work them out. And then secondly, like I said, you've been with UA, what you say, 5 years?
This is 5th year.
This is 5th year. And you got to, arguably, a number 1 player in the country. And, so you go from starting ground zero.
Out the mud.
5 years later, number 1 player in the country. Hey, I will give you your flowers today, and JC is probably the only representative from the state.
Oh yeah, she's the only representative from the state that's playing in the USA game.
And that's really, because this is a remarkable talent in that class. I mean, remarkable.
It is.
In that class.
In that 2026 class, it's deep. It's deep.
That class is deep.
You had Maya Garcia.
Yeah.
There you had Kamora Pruitt. Yeah. It was a lot of
some good
talented 2026. Amari Biles. And JC Abbey was the lone stand in 2026.
Right. So
that's basically what we were saying. If they were all to join,
they all someday,
it could be something special.
Bro, you got a real good thing going on. Your 17U team is doing outstanding. I keep seeing a lot of social media posts about them getting offers left and right. Your 16U could be the number 1 team, 16, top 5 16U team in the country.
Absolutely.
And you got, what might be the number 1 player in the 2026 class.
In the 2026 class.
So you want to
really stamp on it. I think she's the best in the 2026.
I do too. Yeah. I can tell you where I put the stamp on approval was when she played against Team Durant, 17U EYBL as an 8th grader. in the first game of the tournament in New Orleans in front of college coaches and dropped 30 on them. Dropped 30 on a 17U EYBL team. And that's one of the top EYBL teams right now.
Was that Malaysian Fort Wiley team?
No,
not the right.
It wasn't? Okay.
No. But Team Durant got
Okay.
Yeah, he got he got some killers, So
well, Rich, how do you feel about the Heat, man? Like, I mean, like when it comes to competition and it comes to events, I mean, are you looking for the smoke or you're trying to just
you know what? It really so I got a couple of sayings about it.
Okay.
I think you always and this is what's curious to me. So I have my little petty moments.
Okay,
right?
Let's go.
Everybody talks about matchups at the beginning of the season, right? And usually, I'll be honest, the ones who talk about that are the ones who had a good recruiting offseason.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
I think the thing that gets lost and what I try to pride TexasU on and all the guys that are connected with is, we know how to coach, we know how to develop, we know how to teach the game.
Nice.
So for us, it's not so important in March. Like, come see us in June.
See us in June.
At that point, like
we had a chance to see us in develop.
I'll tell you, as long as I've been doing this deal, teams that I got a hand in are always better in June and July. So that's when I want to see the Heat. I don't want the early stuff.
Right.
You want it now.
Right.
Because also you get people, the guys with the slick tongues and stuff. Teams start out, they popping at 10 or at a 9.
Yeah.
Get to June, they still at a 9.
Right.
So basically what you're saying, y'all big on development. Y'all big on coaching and playing the right way.
I think it's, at this point, it's so many people that can have a hand in it. You got trainers, developers, so it's hard for one group to just say, hey, we do everything, we develop. But I know on our end, when we get kids in here, we like to stress fundamentals. A lot of time you get talent in here. Sometimes talent needs to know how to play with other talent, and with us, I think a big drop-off that I've seen that, again, doesn't get talked about enough, got a lot of talent, at the high school level, they go to college. And for the AAU space, I'll be the first one to say, a lot of people in this space take eyes off these kids once they get to college. Out of sight, out of mind. We're talking about the next show. But some of these kids get there, and are they as successful as they need to be? If they've been taught, are they prepared? Yeah. And I see that stuff. So that gets in the whole talk about transfer portal and, kids moving around. And why does a kid go to Wisconsin, you blink your eyes and they're at community JUCO? People aren't talking about that. So again, I think for guys in my space, in my position, we have a responsibility to prepare these kids.
Exactly.
Whether that's, speaking college lingo, impressing, basketball IQ, just that little stuff means a lot, and can prepare these kids for when they go to college to be successful there. Because they start the bottom of the rung most of the time when they get there anyway. So, you got to start building up again. So,
good, man. Hey, I'm impressed. I'm saying once again, you done a great job. Has always done a great job everywhere that you went, and you've done some great creative things here. And I think the Hardwood Classic is, I think you kind of stepping outside your comfort zone and saying, hey, I want to do something special for not only my kids, but for all the kids. I think I commend you for that. And that's what the space need. The space need more people.
That's right.
More people like that. So, again, it was jammerbasketball.com. Jammerbasketball.com.
Basketball.com.
We all, Earn Not Giving going to be a good one. The Hardwood Classic is going to be a good one. There is no excuse for not having a place to play to be prepared this weekend. And you got
Hardwood Classic.
You provide a platform.
Yep.
You provide a platform and everything. So, hey, Carl Rich, he's a great negotiator. So, and everything. Call him, man. Call him.
Yeah. And before you go, Rich, last question. You've been on numerous amount of places. You've been on the Nike side and Adidas side. You're now at the Under Armour side. So my question is, as TexasU, what is TexasU about, and is TexasU here to stay? Is it here to stay?
Well, that's a funny thing. So I've been doing this 20-something years. And I've moved around, started independent, linked up a couple of places, was at Sci-Fair for a while with Earl Allen, was number 2 there, went to Drive, ran that, came back. When I go back to when I got the UA contract, I'll be honest, I was leaving Drive. I knew that was not going to work.
Right, right. Nike.
Right, it was Nike. So I walked
Nike
away
contract.
from the EYBL situation because it didn't align with, at that time, didn't align with some of the things I wanted to do. So moving to something new, because people aren't just going to walk into the abyss. So starting something new with UA. And I remember when I got the deal, they knew at that point, hey, man, he can get some stuff going. He got a little bit of juice. I didn't have anything at that point. So I knew I was going to have to get in the mud, kind of build this thing up. So for me, it's never been about, hey, let's get out there and hit. Even though year one, I think we hit pretty hard. It's been progressive. And the people that rock within our circle, I tell them, look, we don't look at it year by year. We're looking at it like 2 years ahead of time. And, I told them, and some of my, guys, they watch this, they'll say, Rich, tell them the truth. I'm like, look, we know who the top dogs or the top clubs are. I'm like, hey, we coming.
Yeah.
Like, and realistic expectations. Like, I'm not going to catch them in a year. I'm not going to catch them in 2 years, but we're going to do stuff the right way, continually build, try to strive to kind of knock off, things are kind of making it not as fluid as it needs to be. What the ultimate goal is making sure these kids are prepared for the next level.
Right.
Getting rid of all the narratives and all that stuff. I think we're doing a good job. So, TexasU gonna be here? Yeah, we're gonna be here. Yeah, we've been here. We ain't going nowhere.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah, we ain't going nowhere.
That's what we wanted to hear right there, man. You heard it first, man. We appreciate you, Rich. We appreciate you coming on the podcast, man, and sharing your wisdom with the parents out there and the listeners.
Teammates.
Teammates. TexasU, if you're in DFW, they got a foot in the game and they coming. You know what I mean? So